What's up, people? This is Coach Corey Fernandez from Training for Warriors Saga, and I just want to say welcome, everybody. This is a transformation interview with one of our amazing students, Pio, who's in the house today. So she's going to let us know just her perspective on her experience as a student with Training for Warriors. So firstly, thank you so much, Pio, for doing this and spending your time.
No problem.
You're looking beautiful with the red hair and the TFW right now. Go on with your bad self. But first question, Pio, is how long have you been a member with us? And can you describe to us life before TFW? Like, what was fitness like for you? What was health? How were you feeling? All those things.
Okay, so I've been a member now for almost 2.5 years. I started April, I guess that was 2018. Yeah, so life before TFW, I used to be a dancer. So I used to dance Indian classical dancing. I danced for, over 30 years. My mom was an instructor, so I had no choice in the matter. I had to dance. Like from the time I could walk, I was dancing. So that's how I had always kept fit before. So I never worked out or anything because dancing, like it's a very physical, it was very disciplined type of dance. So it built on my muscles. I was muscular just from doing that. So that was life before. And then when I had my son, so my son is now 9, but when I had my son, I still continued to dance, just not as often. So that's when I sort of saw weight starting to come on, right? And then so I was also an instructor. So me and my mom, we did this together. But it was when I had my daughter that I decided I wanted more time with my family. So I stopped dancing altogether, like just all of a sudden stopped. So after I had my daughter, I realized like I stepped on the scale one time and I was about 170 pounds. And this was so shocking for me because growing up, like it took me till I got to 25 years old to even weigh 100 pounds, right? Like, so all of a sudden I'm 170 pounds and it was just shocking. So initially, like I knew that it was a lot about nutrition. So I started with Weight Watchers, and with Weight Watchers, I lost 21 pounds, but my body didn't look anything the way that it looked before. So I knew I had to get to the gym because at that time I was doing workouts at a regular gym, but like I don't know what I'm doing. So
kind of by yourself at like a big box gym.
Yeah, like a big gym, hundreds of people. Like it's intimidating. I'm also shy, so like I don't like that type of environment. So I'm in and out, and sometimes I would cut workouts out because if I'd walk in and I'd say, "Wow, this is a lot of people. I'm out of here," right? So, so I was like going to a gym. I was attending a gym, let's say that. So yeah, I just wasn't getting anywhere, and I knew I just wanted to look better again, right? Because I wanted that. I've always liked a more muscular look, and I know that I wanted that again. So my husband actually looked online, and he found Training for Warriors, and he told me to set up an appointment with Corey. And he said to me, "Don't come back until you've signed up."
So, I like him. I love him. I love him. Thank you, Anthony.
So I came in, I did sign up, but I was still like really on the fence about it because like, yeah, this was a smaller class, but I happened to come in on a day that it was like a hurricane day, and I was watching everybody. I was like, wow, this is not me. But funny enough, this was a time where I think a lot of members were joining, and you had a very large orientation day. Mm-hmm. I think there was like 40 students or so, at least 40 that I could see that were starting the same day. Yeah, and on this orientation, pardon?
No, I was gonna say we're setting up for that Eat Week challenge.
Yeah. So, so again, I was super nervous again, but I was sitting there, and that day you had the coaches talk, and I saw Erin. So Erin came up, and I heard her story, and just to hear her talk about having 3 kids back to back to back, and then looking the way she did and being able to fit fitness into her lifestyle, like she was my idol. Like I looked at her and I was like, okay, like this is what I want to be. This is where I want to go, right? So I already knew from that point, I was like, wow, this is a good place to be. But then Mildred was sort of a speaker that day. And honestly, like, she made me cry. Like,
Oh, the speech, I remember that.
she'd been through so much. And I looked at her and I was like, you know what, like, I want to be surrounded by people like this. So that was where it really solidified that I was in the right place. And also, I mean, back to being at home and, you know, having 2 kids and stuff. My son at the time was really into superheroes, right? So everything to him was superheroes. And every time I would play with him, I would pick characters, like I was going to be Batgirl and I was going to be Wonder Woman. And he would look at me and say, why? Why do you want to be them? They're not strong.
Wow.
Right? And he was only 6 years old, right? Like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, I need to teach him that women can be strong, right? And so it just all fit. It was all the right timing. It all fit. So that's why I'm here.
Love it. And just to kind of recap, like, from what I heard is like, hey, you just weren't feeling confident with yourself. You were, 170 pounds. It just wasn't you. Wanted to bounce back from after having 2 kids. And then also you were looking for like a positive environment. You wanted to be surrounded by people that were going to fill you up with great energy. And lastly, you want to represent and show what a strong woman can be. And that's exactly what you are. So kind of transitioning to the next question for you, Pio, is what are you most proud about of what you've been able to accomplish in your fitness journey, and what you've been able to do over the last 2.5 years?
So leading up to this point, it's always been hitting the PRs, right? Like hitting the PRs on the back squat, on the overhead press. Like, that had always been the thing that really, really like energized me. But very recently, just through our COVID challenge, I was able to reach my pre-pregnancy weight, which I haven't seen on the scale for like 10 years because my son is now 9, right? And it was just amazing. And what was the best part, I think, about it was I was pre-pregnancy weight, but my physique and the way I looked, I guess it's body composition, was totally different. Like, I look so much more toned. I have muscle. I have abs. Right? So, yeah, like I think that was, in my whole time here, I think that's my biggest highlight now, to be that, to see that weight on the scale.
Amazing.
And actually look better.
And just so everybody too, somebody might kind of listen to this and be like, what did she say? Body recomposition? What does that mean? It just means like your weight doesn't always define your health, right? And so what Pio is saying is at one point she weighed the same or similar to it, but her body looked completely different now. And the thing that has changed for her is her ability to lift weights, get strong. And because of that, now she's more toned, she's more lean, her shape, all those things. And again, the confidence that comes with that as well. So that's amazing. You can keep posting those pictures because they look good. But other question for you girls, what would you say is your like the thing you love the most about this program, if you can narrow it down?
Lifting heavy, for sure. Lifting heavy. So again, I was going to another gym. I had no idea what I was doing. My husband at home bought a squat rack one day, and he bought enough weight to put about 135 pounds on it. And I looked at him and I was like, who's using this? Nobody's using this. And he was like, I bought it for you. And I'm, no, nobody's using this. Like, I'm like doing squats with dumbbells like that are like 20 pounds, and that's challenging. Like, nobody's using this. Right. So to now be like doing a back squat at like a PR of 190 pounds, like I would never have thought that that's where I was going. And then the other thing is, and that you don't get at any other gyms, is someone to properly spot you, right? Because like, this is why I would probably never go back to a regular gym, because who's going to spot me properly and know the signs of when I need help? Because I think you guys teach that really well here. And while people are spotting, like, it's the environment, people are cheering you on, right? Like, you can be paired up with a total stranger, somebody you met that day, and they're cheering you on, right? So I really like the environment.
Love it. And just so everyone kind of hears that again, it's just, she said, hey, I love to lift weights. I think at another point in your life, it was something you were intimidated at, but because TFW exposed her to it, it's actually one of her strengths. Like, she's a strong woman, like 190-pound squat, like that's real, right? So she had the ability to learn how to do that. And I think the other thing you mentioned was just, you know, having a coach, like having someone to be there. Hey, Pio, that's a little bit too heavy for you. Hey, that's too light, girl. Come on, we could push it, right? So to challenge her to get to her next level. And then the other thing you said is the environment, which, you know, I agree. Like, I'm someone who needs an environment. And I think even as a coach, when I walk in the dojo and the few times that I work out with you guys, and we've worked out together before, it's the ability to work out with a group of people that we're all different shapes, we're all different sizes, but all of us can bring the energy to the workout, and we all bring our level up just because we're working out with each other. So I totally agree with that. Last question for you, my girl. What would be, like, who would be the person that you would most recommend it to? Like, if you can kind of narrow it down to be like, you know what, I really think TFW is made for this person who needs this. Like, what would you say that person would be?
See, that's like, I think that's a really tough question. It's hard to say, like, to narrow it down, because I think it's really for anyone that wants constant improvement, right? You don't have to see huge improvements on a scale. You don't have to see things drop. It's the little things. It's not just the physical. It's a mental thing. It's an emotional thing. Like, there's people at the dojo that support us no matter what, right? Like, there's friendships that are made there. So it's not just about going and losing weight. It's not about the scale. It's about constant improvement. And I think that's in all aspects, right? Physical, mental, emotional.
Yeah.
So I can't narrow it down to say what type of person. I think that applies to everybody.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like, are you someone that, like, wants to improve at this point in your life? Are you looking for growth, right? Like she said, whether it's physical growth, whether it's emotional, whether it's a mental change, we basically use fitness as a tool to help us become better people, right? And in the process, hey, you do make great friends, you do make great relationships, which basically makes working out that much more fun. You know, like when you go to the gym, you see your girls, you see the guys, you say what's up, instead of being somewhere where, like, you're not socializing with anyone, right? So I definitely agree with that. And again, it's a great opportunity for anybody out there that's thinking about trying this program. And you could work out with Wonder Woman herself right here, Miss Pio, while you're in the class as well. So last question, I guess, Pio. This is a surprise question for you. All right. What would
This wasn't on the list.
This wasn't on the list. I got to give you one surprise. What would be a goal for yourself that you're trying to accomplish?
So I am turning 40 this year, and I really just want to see 28% body fat.
There you go.
So I really want to see that. I'm still a little bit away from it, but yeah, we were a few months away now.
When's your birthday? December?
December 14th. Yeah.
All right, so it's spoken into the existence. We're gonna have to follow up on this interview in December, Pio.
I know.
So pressure's on, but of course, I appreciate you so much for sharing, and I know someone who's gonna watch this, girl, is gonna resonate with your message and what's worked for you. And
you're cutting out a bit there.
Oh, sorry, the internet, bad internet here. But what I'm saying, people, is hopefully you can come in, experience this for yourself. If you guys are interested, we have an amazing 14-day Kickstart trial. And again, hopefully you can be working with myself, or you can be working on a class with Pio. So again, thank you, girl, Pio. I appreciate you. And then I'll see you probably at the dojo tomorrow. And I'll see you, whoever's watching this, hopefully at the dojo soon. All right, people? Beasted!